Welcome to Silicon Valley Impact, where business insight meets startup innovation. And now, please give a warm welcome for your host, Mr. Brian Sparks!
Let it rip. Welcome to Silicon Valley Impact. I'm your host, Brian Sparks. The purpose of the show is to have...
Everybody's happy.
We are. Let's have
Everybody's
those
happy.
honest conversations about what it takes to build great businesses and communities.
In your own.
Moving on to Rick. Good to see you, buddy. Glad you could fly out and make it, I guess, back to Silicon Valley for the show. For those of you who don't know who you are, go ahead and give a little intro about yourself.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you for having me here. Yes, I flew in from Norway yesterday for the show. My name is Rick Larsen. I'm the founder and CEO of BeSafe Technology. We are improving emergency services technology in the US because there is a big need for dispatching and arriving at the scene in time before the bad incidents really happens.
Yeah, and time is of the essence. And we'll talk a little bit, if you're open about later, about where your passion is coming from this. But you've been diving into this world. Is this your first company?
No, it's my third.
It's your third company.
Yes.
So that's, again, what I want to talk to you about. All right. So welcome back to Silicon Valley Impact. We're in the second half of our show, and we have some great guests giving great insights today. And I definitely want to start to look to you, Rick, and to talk a little about BeSafe. Super excited about what you're doing here. I know you gave us an intro elevator pitch, but talk a little bit more about what you're creating and why this is so important. I got a ton of questions for you, but bring our audience up to speed on what you're creating with BeSafe.
Okay.
Wherever you want to start, buddy.
Yes, okay. I have 3 children. I have a daughter named Charlene. She's 28 today. When she was in her teens, she was attacked. So I am a father on a mission. It's not a sad story, it's a real story. It's a story about a young female who fought through a storm she thought would never end. Mm-hmm. She started with self-harm after the attack. She had depressions. She had suicide thoughts, and it was really hard for me as a father to experience that. And every day when I woke up, I was afraid going into her room because I knew one day she wanted to commit suicide. So after a couple of years, I could not stand out more. So I decided to do something with that. So I sat down with my daughter and asked her if she had reflected on how her incident could have been prevented. And she looked into my eyes and said, "Yes, Father, I have." She told me if I could have enabled an alarm at my cell phone with my voice, it could have been prevented. Or if I could have warned friends and family that something was about to happen, it could have been prevented. But most of all, and most important of all, she said, if I could have proved that it actually happened, I would not have struggled as much as I have done afterwards. And that's the problem for many, especially females who have been victims of incidents. It's not the incident in itself that makes them struggle. It's the shame and the guilt they feel afterwards. So that was that's my background. Why I want to try to give her a normal life. Mm-hmm. So we developed technology based on her reflections. And this grew so big that it exploded. First in Norway, we had a lot of attention in media, financial media, commercial media, and then globally also. So talked about Plug and Play. Around 3 years ago, we got the request from Plug and Play on behalf of British Telecom. Mm-hmm. And we got requests from Match Group, Bumble, Citizen, and a lot of other big companies. So we have... Based on all the requests, we found out that we need to improve the technology. So now we have developed a platform, a SaaS platform, where we can combine this with emergency services also, so we can improve the emergency response globally. So we are in business today in UK and Australia, and we are setting up the business now in the US.
Yeah, and you literally just landed yesterday to grow here in the U.S. Remarkable. So talk a little bit more about the features that you have incorporated into this Be Safe app and how it's going to help the market or an individual. I shouldn't even say that it's going to help the individual.
Yes, it is both for individuals and for corporates also. Like I said, she said if she could have enabled an alarm, so you can actually, we also have signed an exclusive agreement with Apple, so we don't need to touch the phone at all to start a recording. So you can enable an alarm with your voice or via Bluetooth button. Then you will send a GPS and tracking. Everything is streamed live, both audio and video, and everything is recorded also for later use in court. And that was the 3 reasons she said to me, if I could have enabled an alarm with my voice, if I could have warned my friends and family. So the combination there has been very powerful. And as far as I know, we are the only company doing this. So that's also the reason we got a lot of attention, and we talk about branding here also. The Be Safe is a very, very strong branding and has been in the market for a long time. So the combination with the branding and the great product and maybe a strong story behind has made this much bigger than I thought.
Yeah. So you're landing here. So what's next? I know you're in the process of raising, but at the same time, you have all this momentum, all this traction in other parts of the world, and now, and most times people go the other way. They come to Silicon Valley and build out, but you're coming in with all this traction. What's next for Be Safe?
The next gonna happen is actually that my daughter is pregnant and she's giving birth to her first baby now, either this week or next week.
Oh, wow. No.
Nice.
So
Congratulations.
I'm very thank you. I'm very happy and I'm going to be a grandfather for the first time. So I have fulfilled stage 1. I have given her a normal life. She has contributed to do this. She's the brain behind everything, and she's my big hero in my life. Yes, we are setting up now a nationwide monitoring in the US. We have attention from all the largest companies in the world. I cannot say the name because we are on an early stage right now. And the emergency response, emergency alert and response industry is one in a few industries that has not been disrupted in the US yet. So I will contribute to be one of the founders behind the disruption of this industry.
I love that. And from a strategy perspective, you've done some things that a lot of companies struggle to do themselves, and that's develop partnerships. I mean, we on Silicon Valley Impact, we dedicate a lot of our time to talking about partnerships. Talk a little bit about your perspective. And I know you have experience in startup before, but how are you developing these partnerships, or how would you share some of the strategies that you've learned in partnership development with other startups that may be listening?
Yes, I try. It's based on experience also, because we try to go to the B2, to the consumer market with our technology, but we realize that we need to go to big companies who have customers and who have a big need. So we identified our ideal customers, who are big companies like Apple, Match Group, Samsung, and others. We have signed some master service agreements here in the US now. And it's very important because I see so many companies who try to do everything on themselves and think that it can grow big. And somebody actually can, but it's much stronger for us to go out there and build partnerships, because alone we have a great product, but together with other companies, for instance, the company we have partnered up with now, it make it much bigger, much stronger, and it make it easier for us to get out there in the world, in the market with our technology. And I do it in the European way. I want to build everything before I go out in the market. So I am very prepared. I've been back and forth now for 1 year here. So now I'm ready to take action and grow big.
I love that. Yeah, and most people, I mean, if I could double click on it just for a second, most people say, yeah, we have this partnership, but they just can't get those those meetings. And oftentimes those who say, I'm developing, for example, a medical device, right? And we're going to partner with, for example, Stanford. We're going to, that's our go-to-market strategy. Most of the time with investors, and Kayvon, correct me if I'm wrong, you're going to roll your eyes because everybody wants the big partnerships. Everybody wants to go big game hunting. But when you say, in contrast, okay, we have this medical device as an example, and we've identified a small town in Kansas City, Missouri that has a small clinic, and we feel that they could benefit from this and we can scale from there. That makes more sense. And of course, then you have all points in between, the big game and then the precision of go-to-market. How have you executed and gotten face time in meetings and the persistence behind getting those meetings and the story, and what have you brought with you to get that attention that some of our audience may be able to consider they need to incorporate?
It's hard work, Brian.
It is hard work.
It's hard work.
Yeah, grind.
And it's a lot of background work. When you know the companies or the people you want to attract with you have to do the research. You have to understand them before you go out there. So I think 3/3 parts of the work is the background work I did before I reached out. For instance, we have a Supreme Court lawyer in Norway. I thought, if I want to have this approved in Norwegian court, who is the person I want to reach out to? And it was that guy. And I could not reach out with him as a cold contact, so I had to find people who knew him. And that's where I work, and I think I don't know, maybe it's something with the personality that make it easier also. I don't use the story because it's a strong story, and I feel very comfortable about the product we have developed. It means a lot also. So I have spent a lot of time for preparations.
It sounds like.
I'm sorry, no, go ahead.
Okay, and then I'll pass to you, Kayvon. It sounds like what you've mastered subconsciously is positioning and leverage. Like you position yourself right, and then you find the leverage that's going to give you the best returns from a people perspective. That's what it sounds like, because oftentimes people don't do that well. And it sounds like there's something maybe in another episode that we can uncover where we talk about positioning and leveraging, because this is a people game, and trust is the currency. Then ultimately what happens is, business is made based on that positioning. But without me going down my rabbit hole, go ahead, Kayvon, I'll let you
Well,
ask.
I just actually had two questions. One was how much of that experience and success that you had in Norway were you able to carry on? What stuff were you able to bring over to the U.S. in terms of your go-to-market and everything else? And what was different that worked in Norway that is not, you don't believe is going to work here? And then the second question I have is, you said about partners. So am I assuming that your customers are the victims, or you're using customers and partners interchangeably?
I take the first thing first, Kevin. Okay. Thank you for your questions. There are so big differences between Europe and the US. So you have to turn everything upside down to understand how it works. And that's why I have been so much back and forth here, to understand the culture, to understand the people. And I love the culture, I love the people. And I have also lived in New York and Philadelphia 3 to 6 years back in time to learn. I think the biggest difference is that the need and understanding for safety and security is much higher here than in Norway. Even if we have the same bad statistics for violence and other bad statistics here in the US. I think also because we have a system here for emergencies where the emergency services don't even know where you are. You have to tell if you are getting killed. The first thing they ask when you call 911, where are you? Yeah, wait, I have to see, where am I? Yes, and this is the infrastructure can be improved, and I mean with the technology we have developed, we can make a difference there. So both the need and the understanding for safety and security in the US compared to Europe is the main reason I'm here. And second question?
Second question was, you talked about these corporations as your partners. So I just want to know, who is your customer? Is it the corporations or is it the individuals?
Our ideal customer is the big companies, like I said, for instance, Match Group, Bumble, Samsung, Apple, and the big ones. Because to implement this, we have done integrations on the biggest platforms globally for emergency services. So it is easy for us to integrate our solution into iPhone, for instance, or Samsung, or with Match Group, also to improve the safety, to improve the security for consumers, but we are not consumer based.
Okay.
We are also attracting schools. We have universities, for instance. I don't think everybody are aware of that school shootings, for instance, has increased with 750% since 2017. Before 2017, it was only around 10 school shootings per year. Last year, it was more than 80. Another thing also, sending your daughters to college today. I get emotional because I have daughter myself, but the statistics says that 1 in 4 female undergraduate students are raped on campus.
Yeah.
Half of them the first 4 months there. So we want to, based on my daughter's incident, we want to help preventing. We want to prevent, we want to handle, and we want to document crimes. That's the.
Do you go as far as also supporting them, in terms of like adding the services to help the victims, or do you kind of stop at recording and,
we help
reporting?
them with the recording, because that's the most, like my daughter said, that's the most important thing. It happened, she could not do something with that. But if she could have proved that it happened, she would not have struggled as much. So the documenting is, for her, the most important, and that's where we can help afterwards. That's where they can talk about this. That's where they maybe don't need to self-harm themselves or struggle so much. So hopefully it will help a lot of, not only female, but also males, preventing bad incidents.
Yeah, a lot to learn with this. And I love what you're working on, and I love the story. I really believe, we talk about founders, the founder fit, the energy. I'm a very enthusiastic person, and and Rich, people see my energy, but your energy is so rich, Rick. It's very deep, and I can feel that you're committed to this 1,000%. And I think that goes to what you were saying earlier, Kayvon, about what is the energy around a founder and what they're committed to. But we'll dive a little bit deeper into this. Rick, I want to kind of look to you about what's next. You just literally landed here in the U.S. You're ready to deploy and engage your market. What's next for you in the next 6 months?
Yes, I was here from January to March. I needed to go home because I have decided I want to sell my house in Norway to commit for living here. Because it takes time, it takes effort, and I want to. I see the presence I have here, and I had the last year has been very important for me to reach out to people. We are testing out our system right now. We are also we have customers today, B2B customers within healthcare, like you talked about, Reza. We have it in real estate. We have universities as customers also. So we have a go-to-market strategy right now. Like I say, our ideal customers are the big ones who need integrations, need maybe the branding, and need a software where they can make things much easier for their and give value to the existing products they have. Like I said, we are in discussions with a large company now. So I want to reach out to this gentleman here also. So I hope we can meet again, and where I can talk more about what I want to achieve with my product.
Yeah,
But
a lot of second conversations coming for you.
yes,
Yeah, no
correct.
doubt. Not only maybe in this room, but also our listeners, which we've seen happen a lot of times. Shout out to a lot of the angel networks that have engaged with us. So definitely what you're working on, and Shannon, what you're working on as well, you're going to get that engagement, no doubt. But I know that that's big for you coming up.
I also have learned, in addition to build networks, it's very important to build a good team. Like you said, I have in my team, I have a guy called Eric Running, and he was a captain in the U.S. Army, and he has made security systems for FBI, for the Port Authority to New York. He was the last person out of the South Tower when it collapsed, written a book about the escape from the Twin Towers. So when I build credibility, it make it easier for me also to reach out to other people. So again, for other founders to build a team and to have people on your team, it's very, very important. I meet it all the time. Traction and team.
Yeah.
Is so important.
Rick, how can people connect with you?
Yes, if you want to find out more about BeSafe, it is named BeSafe, BSAFE. My email, or reach me at LinkedIn at Rich, R-I-C-H, Larsen, L-A-R-S-E-N.
And if you're on LinkedIn, I got you tagged all over everything that I'm doing. So you can, if you're already following me, you can find Rick that way as well. Did I step on what you had next?
No.
That was everything? Okay.
Our webpage is getbesafe.com.